Hello everybody and welcome to The Outside, the ring show. I'm your host, the man behind the camera, and tonight, well, we're going back to Wrestlemania 4 and continuing our Wrestlemania reviews. Well, coming off the high of high at Wrestlemania 3, you need to, do something big. Now the WrestleMania 3 match with Hulk and Andre really set up their feud for the rest of that year, and culminating in another match at WrestleMania 4 in the quarterfinals of this WWE Championship Tournament. Now the way this happened, the whole feud with Hulk Hogan and Andre, you get this Ted DiBiase involvement where he's trying to buy the championship. So Andre and Hulk Hogan have a match at Main Event. It was called Main Event. Not Saturday Night's Main Event, Main Event. It's another show where they just put a huge main event on, and I think the Schleg Daddy said that 33 million or 31 million people watched that match, I think. I think he said it was on a Friday, too. Thanks, Schleg Daddy, for educating me. WWE doesn't do a good job of it, but they had a match, and, the whole deal with the twin referees, David and Earl Hebner, whatever. As Hulk Hogan was down on the mat, Andre pinned him 1, 2, and Hulk Hogan kicked out at like 1.5. Shoulder was up, but the ref counted 3. Hulk Hogan didn't know which one to hit first. Henceforth, the belt goes to Andre. Henceforth, now we have this big commotion over the championship belt. The no good Jack Tunney vacates the belt. And then we get this little WWF Championship Tournament. Now, there's a lot of matches to go through. I don't feel like going through all of them. It basically revolved around 4 people. $1 Million Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, and Andre. Now, they all played important roles in this tournament. Hulk and Andre automatically got a bye to the quarterfinal round. And it was a double disqualification. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant went out and had a pretty good match, and then obviously the chair battle and the ref disqualified both men. Later on in the night, we found out that Ted DiBiase wanted to get Hulk Hogan out no matter how he could do it. No matter how it was done, he wanted Hogan out of the tournament. So that's why the DQ finish, and Ted DiBiase doesn't have to deal with Hulk Hogan anymore. Then, you have the 2 quarterfinal round matches. Ted DiBiase beats Don Morocco in an okay match, as he moves on to the finals, because he was going to face the winner of Andre Hulk. Then we get another quarterfinal round match between Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Savage, and whenever you put those 2 guys in a match, it's going to be good, and it was. One Man Gang got a bye in the first round due to the Rick Rude Jake Roberts 15-minute time limit match. All the first round matches were 15 minutes. This one happened to exceed it, or whatever, however you want to put it. They ran out of time. So, henceforth, One Man Gang moves on to the semis and faces Randy Savage, who had to wrestle 4 times. 1 against Butch Reed, 2 against Greg the Hammer, and then this match against One Man Gang. It was big versus small. It was a pretty good match. It was just about getting Randy Savage over. And it did its job, and then you got the main event. You had Ted DiBiase versus Randy Macho Man Savage for the WWF Championship. Miss Elizabeth at ringside with the Macho Man, and you had Andre the Giant with Ted DiBiase. Now the great part about this match, they really played off that how is Miss Elizabeth going to stand up to the Giant? Or which manager person at ringside would you rather have, Miss Elizabeth or Andre? And they really went off that. And Andre kept getting in Savage's way and kept tripping him or doing this and that. Miss Elizabeth ran to the back. She brought Hulk Hogan down there and evened the odds. Now, some people like the finish, some people don't. I thought the match was great, but I just didn't like the finish with Hogan hitting him with the chair. It kind of took some of the momentum Savage, like a clean win that Savage was going to get. But what can you do? I thought it was still a great match. Hogan comes in with a chair, Macho hits the elbow, and a 1, 2, 3. Randy Savage is your new WWF champion. Or WWE champ, I should say. And then you get the Mega Powers coming together, which is going to set up another match at WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers explode. This was the genius behind the booking back then, because you had 3 matches at 3 consecutive WrestleManias. You had Hulk and Andre. Then that match, that feud carried throughout the whole year until you got to WrestleMania 4, where you had Hulk and Andre in the quarterfinals, plus you had Savage and DiBiase in their respective roles trying to make it to the top. Then, when you had that Mega Power handshake, you set up another match down the road with Macho Man and Hogan, because of Hogan and Miss Elizabeth and stuff. And that was the genius behind this whole booking. Now, there were some other good matches on this card. I thought the first round match between Rick Rude and Jake Roberts was good. Ricky Steamboat versus Greg Valentine was pretty good. Andre and Hulk was good. Hammer and Savage was good. Intercontinental Champ match between Honky Tonk and Brutus, that was good. The Islanders and Bobby Heenan versus the British Bulldogs and Coco Beware. That was pretty funny with Heenan in his protective suit or whatever against Matilda. I thought that was a pretty good match. Demolition versus Strikeforce for the WWE Tag Team Championship. That was a good match, and obviously the finals of this show was a good match. So overall, not too bad of a Mania. I did put the scores. I rated the matches. It all turned up to a total of 46.25 out of 80, and that mustered up to 6 out of 10. I think it was like a 5.8 or whatever. I thought it was a pretty good show, but it was basically about those 4 guys and about that main event at WrestleMania 5. Now, the WWE, I think is trying to get back to that way of booking, this long-term booking. But just to announce the match and not have Rocket appear at a lot of the shows really hurts the value of this match. It's still going to be a great match between Cena and Rock. But if you had this booking back then, where you had Hulk and Andre throughout the whole year and DiBiase starting to climb up the ladder, and still a Macho Man waiting in the wings. I mean, the same type of booking. I think this Rock Cena match would be something to look forward to. And it is, but again, this was the genius behind the booking back then. So, WrestleMania 4, 6 out of 10. Basically revolved around 4 guys, in my opinion. And I thought it was a pretty solid pay-per-view. Tell me what you thought about WrestleMania 4 down below. For the Outside the Ring show, I am your host, the man behind the camera. Good night, everybody. I can't turn the camera off. Good night, everybody.